investigate the poor and downtrodden people who come to this country without even a dollar or a dream. We wonder, what can make these people come to this country looking for work?
Sir? That's a dog.
Oh, Tonight's on about 8.5 minutes. We investigate the poor, downtrodden people who come to this country without even a dollar or a dream. We wonder, what could cause them to come to our country looking for work?
Hello and welcome to today's edition of About 8.5 Minutes. I am your host, Isaac Kramer. In today's episode, we will be analyzing and investigating the lives of immigrants and the controversies that swell this great issue. Also, we'll be analyzing the new book released by Upton Sinclair, The Jungle. We'll be right back.
Low wages screwing you. Join the KOL. We scare low wages off.
Welcome back. And now we discover why immigrants come from their stinky country to the land of the free. We'll be taking a look through the eyes of our Russian film crew.
Thank you, Isaac. Look at this Jewish man. Forced out of his country by the Russian dictators. I bet you anything he goes to America.
That was Isfin, covering the lives of Russian Jews. Mordecai, America's intrigued. How was the journey?
Well, when the Russians destroyed my people and my family and my home, I had to flee. I had nothing but the clothes I was wearing. But then I got to a ship and I was able to journey to America. It was the greatest moment of my life. Compared to running through the snowfields in my bare feet, the ship was like heaven. Crowded together with many people on the decks, it smelled really bad. The people around me were crammed together all with one thought, the thought for our new freedom. When we saw the Statue of Liberty on the last day of our month-long journey, we knew one thing, that we had a new life ahead of us.
How was Ellis Island?
Well, there were these doctors there, and they had to check me for about 200 diseases in about 15 seconds. The island was incredibly crowded, many people trying to get into the country. But eventually I left Ellis Island and first came to America.
It's interesting. How was the housing? Where'd you live?
Well, I was alone. I had nothing. I had no way in which to pay rent, no job in which to get money to pay rent. So I slept where I could. Our flesh would freeze to the knives we were working on. Whatever happened to the meat, we still would use it in our plant. They would send off whatever it is that we wrapped up.
So what about your boss?
I'd rather not talk about him.
So in closing, what are your final thoughts about America?
America is one of the worst countries I've ever been to. Even at the old country, at least I could eat and was not working 16 hours a day.
In closing, what do you think about America?
Well, it's the land of the free and the home of the brave, of course. Everybody should come. Yeehaw!
And we'll be back with an expose on William Tweed.
When you're an unskilled laborer, you're working hard every day. All day. You don't have time to shower. You don't even own a shower. That's why you get the new Levi pants. Because they're just as tough and long-lasting as you are. Levi!
And we're back. Now we'll be sending it to our live correspondent, Robin Wilson, with a startling news update on William Tweed.
Mr. Tweed, what are the startling allegations that you've been using intimidation of the ballots to get your candidates in office?
No comment!
What are the startling stories that we have, Mr. Tweed?
No comment!
I say who you want to vote for. The Democratic Party, not the Republicans. My friends, Say you little girl!
I'm a little girl!
Okay!
So what do you think of Thomas Nast, Mr. Tweed?
Well, he's a fine cartoonist.
Are you so sure? What about the fact that he's always making fun of you?
They're just blatant lies. Every single cartoon he has is a blatant lie about me.
Well, he constantly says that you're stealing, isn't that so?
No comment. I better the welfare of my people.
What about New York City? How much money exactly did you steal from New York?
Said no comment.
$1 million, Mr. Tweed. What do you have to say to that?
Over 100 million trying like I helped the city. I helped those immigrants. You know what? I had enough. Thank you, Robert. Welcome back. Joining me live in the studio here is our political science expert, John Roseberry. Nice to have you, John.
I'm happy to be here.
Now, John, you know the situation. Boss Tweed, or shall we refer to him as William Tweed, has been running political machines in New York City. Can you explain this for us?
Well, see, the political machine is this. It's called Tammany Hall, and Boss Tweed is coming from a large line of political leaders who have been running this machine. They oppress immigrants, basically, into getting votes, and they also steal money from the city.
Stealing money. That's from our city. Now, John,